We're getting ready to start. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to today's class. So today we are going to do a yin class. For those of you who aren't necessarily very don't know about yin, I'll just give you a little bit of a brief kind of introduction as to what yin is. In yin yoga, we hold relaxation poses for a few minutes. And during the hold, I will be walking you through the holds, but we take our breath and we focus our breath into particular places in the body. And the understanding is that as we hold the positions for a longer period of time, it helps to completely relax the muscles and even goes a layer deeper and just helps everything relax. So our organs, from a Chinese medicine point of view, the understanding is that the meridian lines that run through the body can open and be more flowy, where all our energy is flowing better, our blood flows better, our synovial fluid flows better. And for those of you who are like, what the hell is that? It is that fluid that surrounds our joints, helping to keep our joints lubricated, especially as we age. So we will be doing a yin class today. It will mostly be seated or laying down. So for today's class, you're going to want to have a strap. I know I hadn't put that in my initial list. And you can use anything. You can use a belt. You can use like a regular belt. You can use a tie if you have a tie hanging around the house. You can use a scarf, anything that's somewhat long enough. So yeah, I'll give you a couple seconds while I'm still rambling to grab that. You will want a couple of yoga blocks, and you will want a bolster. Bolster is like yogi's best friend for yin. If you don't have one of these, that's okay. Take a blanket or a towel. So you can even just take your favorite blanket and roll it up, and then either secure it using elastics or tie like some rope on it just so that it stays in the roll. All right. So this class, we will be doing a few minutes of a warm-up exercise, and prior to that, we'll start with our grounding exercise, just like we did for yesterday, if you were in yesterday's class. And for those of you who are new, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. And for those of you who joined us yesterday, welcome back. And here we are. So let's take a few minutes to do our grounding exercise. Then we'll move into our warm-up and our postures. And then, of course, my favorite part of the class, Shavasana. And then that will be that. And I am taking requests for kinds of classes that you'd like. I'm hoping to do every day at 2:30, just like this. So if there is a particular class that you'd like me to try to do, or even focusing on a specific organ or a specific body part, I can tailor the class according to those. So speak up, speak your mind, and let's begin, shall we? So I'm not playing music. I find it really gets in the way of the audio when I'm speaking. So if you want to grab your favorite soundtrack, get into a comfy seat. Actually, you know what? For today's class, let's begin in a laying down position. So lie down. If you want to, you can have a pillow underneath your head. And just completely get comfortable here. And start settling in. You can have whatever hand placement feels comfortable for you. We're just going to take a couple of moments to just get here, right now, in this moment. Putting aside everything that we've done up until today, up until right now, and not thinking about what we have yet to do when we leave here. Feel the stillness that's here in your room. Feel how it opens up towards you, how it's welcoming you, inviting you to settle in. And allow yourself to just relax completely into it. Now is the time for you and all aspects of yourself. Your mind, your heart, your body, your energy level, all woven together with your breath. Take all of your awareness now into the back of the body, feeling every point of connection that the back of the body is making with the mat that's underneath it. Imagining that someone has taken glue and brushed glue on your mat. You are laying on it, and your consciousness is that glue. Settle in deeply. Begin to scan the body all the way from the tips of the toes, slowly moving your way up to the top of the head, releasing and relaxing any tension that you find along the way. Just simply letting go. Just let it go. Still sinking heavy into the ground in the back of the body. Still settling into the stillness. Listen to the sounds that are around you. Those that are outside of the room. Those that are inside the room with you. And perhaps you can even hear sounds coming from within the body. Your breath, your heartbeat. All of these sounds in this moment, bringing you here into this present moment. This present moment is the only thing that is in your control. Your reaction to this present moment. You can't change things that have happened in the past. You can't affect things that are happening in the future. All you can control is right here, right now. Settling in even more now. If you feel the mind wandering, that's okay. It's challenging as we start to learn how to sit in stillness, to quiet the mind. And that does not mean pushing things down. It means allowing things to come and allowing them to float by. Giving them that place of safety through acknowledgement, and then just allowing them to just completely float on by. Bringing the awareness now into the breath. Just note the depth and the speed of your breath. Note where the breath is coming from. Is it filling the lungs? Is it filling the belly? Is it stuck in the throat? And now trying to direct the breath in and out through the belly. Filling the belly wide like a balloon with every inhale. Relaxing and releasing on every exhale. Allowing the inhale to roll into the exhale seamlessly, smoothly. And the exhale rolls into the inhale. Softly through the nose. As the air comes in through the nose, it warms your entire self. And as the air exits the nose, it blankets the entire body. Deepening the breath now. Soften the throat. Relax your face. Soften your jaw, your cheeks. Remove emotion from your forehead. Sinking in the back of the body even more. Think about what you hope to accomplish with today's practice. Setting an intention for this class. Very different than an expectation. Thinking about that intention and breathing it deeply into your entire self. Now placing the hands on the belly, take a full deep inhale through the nose and sigh it out. Inhaling again deeply and release. And one more breath just like this. Inhale deeply, holding at the top, and let it go. On the next inhale, hug the right knee into the chest. Keep the face soft, breathe 3 full breaths just like this. Slowly on the exhale, change legs, moving so slowly, just being aware of every single movement that your body is taking. 3 breaths right here. Now on the next exhale, hugging both knees into the chest, taking a slow rocking side to side. And then on the next inhale, lengthen out the entire body, all the way from the tip of the toes to the tip of the fingers as they reach behind you. Breathe, be here. On the next exhale, hugging the right knee back in, 3 full breaths. Slowing down. You are here right now. You have nowhere else to go. You have nowhere else to be. So just be here. Exhale, slowly switching legs. Keep the face soft. After the third exhale, Hugging in one more time. Slow rocking side to side, just like this. Now we're going to slowly transition up to a seated position. So think about how you need to get there. For some of you who sometimes get lightheaded, you might want to roll to one side first and then push up in the hands and lift up to seated. Otherwise, you can cross the ankles and just come to roll up. And now getting ready for our warm-up. How's everybody feeling after our grounding exercise? I know I'm feeling great. Thank you. All right, let's take a nice easy cross in the legs. So by cross, I mean one of three things. Either you can cross, or you can layer the legs in front, or you can stack the legs on top of each other, however you're comfortable. And now settling in really heavy into the legs, lift up super tall through the entire spine, put a little smile on your lips. One of the first things that I learned in yoga 1,000 years ago, back in 1995, was that putting a little smile on your face actually relaxes your entire face. And no one's watching you. So put a little smile on your face. And even if they were watching you, put a smile on your face. With that being said, sit having the legs lift. Breathe. And now take an easy twist over to one side. 3 full breaths. Lift with every inhale. Twist a tiny bit more on the exhale. Just twisting through the navel. Keep the chin in line with the chest. 3 full breaths. Soften the gaze. Soften the hips. Slowly coming through the center, lift through the spine, walk forward in the hands. The palms are super wide here, hinging over your feet. It doesn't matter how low you come down. So even if you're here, stay there. That's fine. Just try not to round the back. You don't want to see rounding of the shoulders here. Keep the spine straight. Breathe, push the hips back, and then tuck the chin down. Take 3 full breaths here. Slowly walking the hands back up. Sit tall again, soften the hips. Nice easy twist over to the other side. 3 full breaths. And for those of you just joining now, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome. Just come on down to your mats. One more full inhale. Full exhale, coming back through the center. Taking the opposite cross in the legs, just shake them out first while you do. Bringing them back in. I like my legs layered on top of each other. Resit so you're sitting nice and even on both of your sit bones. Lifting up through the entire torso, hinging forward. Breathe, soften the hips, tuck the chin down. 3 full breaths right here. Slowly coming back up. Now we're going to do a little bit of neck and shoulder exercises. This is when you're going to need your strap, belt, tie, scarf, whatever it is that you will be using. So get into a comfortable seated position, however that is for you. And also, so I know some of you are very used to moving slowly in yoga classes. Others of you are used to very fast-paced movements. And I know that this kind of practice, for those of you who are used to fast-paced, it's challenging. I get it. I used to be one of those people. And it takes time. So just be kind to yourself and Just allow yourself to be exactly who you are. We are moving slowly. And you know what the beautiful thing is about learning how to move slowly on your mat? Is that then we take it off the mat and we learn how to move slowly in life. And that is such a true, huge gift on so many levels, which we'll talk about at another time. Let's get back to practice. Tuck chin down, inhale. Exhale, roll the ear to one shoulder. Pause. Breathe into the space that you're creating on the side of the neck. Full breath in, full breath out. On the next inhale, roll back down to center. Exhale, other side. Pause. Taking the mind into the space. And I want you to just feel the difference in the sides of the neck, the difference in the mobility. Breathe here. Nice and easy. Soften the face. Inhale back down to center. Doing this again. Coming back to the first side. Slow. Breathe into the space. Take the opposite hand behind the body if that feels good for you. 2 full breaths here. Slowly coming back to center, over to the second side, ear to shoulder, opposite hand behind, 2 full breaths. Slowly coming back down. So coming to the first side, we're going to roll the ear to shoulder. Now tilt the nose down to the armpit. Take the hand to the back of the head. Just use it as a weight, so you're not pulling. Still sit up super tall and breathe into this part of the neck, so like your traps area. Breathe. Soften on every exhale. For those of you who have been sitting a lot, emailing a lot, like such crazy times, like this will feel really good. Those of you who are holding tension and anxiety, just release it all here. Inhale, come back down to center, coming up to the other side, tilting nose towards armpit, hand to the back of the head, breathe. 3 full breaths. Slowly coming back to center, we're going to come up to a kneeling position. Just fix my ever sliding mat. All right. So let's take a kneeling position. You can either come to a high kneel or you can come to a low kneel. Either way, we're going to hold the strap in the arms nice and wide and make sure that your arms are just directly over the head. We don't want the hands behind the body or in front, just directly overhead right now. Soften the neck, so just give it a little shake out. And then opening up the hands, start very slowly taking the strap behind the body, moving 1 millimeter at a time. And you're going to feel this sweet spot between your shoulder blades. Now, for some of you, it's going to be different than others of you. So pause where it is your spot. Mine's a little bit further back, probably there. Breathe. And then slowly taking the strap down the body. This is called flossing. Now, you might not be able to go all the way down, and that's totally cool. Find your bottom, wherever that might be, and then slowly start lifting the strap back up. Even closing the eyes here to move super slow and taking it down the body again. Breathing, keep the neck loose. And see how different it is when you're moving slowly. You can really identify a point of tension. Stay in that point of tension. Focus on it. Send your exhale right there. And one more time, up. And slowly bringing it down. Release the strap, shake it out. And now let's start warming up our hips and our lower half of our body. Everyone good? How are you feeling? Thumbs up? All right, rock and roll. Let's get into a tabletop position. So hands are shoulder width apart, spreading your palms super wide. Remember that foundation is really important here. Flatten out the tops of the feet, really feeling the mat under the tops of the feet. And then push the ground away in the hands. Feel how the shoulders are activating here. Drop the belly down, lift the chin all the way. Inhale deeply. Exhale, round the back, come to cat. And I like to call this dancing cat, where you just kind of move the body side to side. Inhale, coming back up. Breathe. And then exhale, round the back, side to side here. Breathe out, use the breath. Inhaling back up. And exhale. One more just like this. Inhale up. And exhale. And then coming to neutral spine here. Widen the knees. Big toes come together. Sit back into a wide-kneed child's pose. Reaching through the fingers a lot. The forehead goes down to the mat, and wiggle the hands forward as much as you possibly can. Now from this position, the palms are still really wide. Push the right palm down. Open up the whole upper arm on the right side. Coming back up, push into the left hand. Open up all through the armpit, the shoulder. Do you feel that? Do that again. Push into the right hand. Coming up and push into the left. We're going to do this one more time. Breathe. Soften the belly. Beautiful. Slowly coming up. Excellent. So now we're going to do toe squat and ankle stretch. Two of my favorite poses, because I don't know about you, but my feet get sore. Like I don't have a plantar fasciitis or anything like that, but thank goodness. But I do get sore feet. So this is a great remedy. So you're going to come up on the toes. I have a long pinky toe, so if you do too, bring it forward and then just sit back on the toes. Now, if you want a little bit more intense, you can come all the way up on the toes, maybe even rocking forward and back, and breathe deeply into the toes. And just stay here. Keep the spine nice and straight. Soften the face. This is where I usually tend to go, oh, because it hurts my feet. But it's that good hurt where you're like, bring it on. Please soften. Soften with the exhale. One more full breath in. Full breath out. Come forward into ankle stretch. Tops of the feet down. Leaning back on your feet. And now you can take your bolster here at this point and bring it under the knees so that you can deepen that ankle stretch here, sitting back. And just stay here for a few breaths. Slowly coming out. Excellent. So that concludes our warm-up. Now we're going to move into our postures. How's everybody doing? Good? Fantastic. Okay. First pose, we're going to get into Sphinx. Sphinx pose is an incredible position for the spine. Laying on the belly. Extending the arms in front of you. So you want to make sure that your elbows are in front of the body and not hugged in. So your shoulder, elbow, and wrist are making a 90-degree angle. Soften out the legs and just soften, you don't, or the thighs. Widen through the fingers. The arms are parallel. So look at the arms. If they're doing this, like just keep them nice and parallel. And then lower the neck. Now you can either close the eyes here or soften the gaze on a focal point, or also known as a drishti. We will be here for a few minutes. So as we move into the yin postures, this is where we will be holding the positions. So for those of you who are new to yin, this is where the challenge comes in. You want to make sure to still the mind. The mind will be busy, it will want you to engage with it, and you're not going to do that right now. So to help you stay right here in the moment, bring the mind into the body, use the breath. Keep the belly soft as the breath comes in and out through the nose. Bring the awareness into the feeling of the mat underneath the hands, underneath the forearms, under the thighs, under the tops of the feet. Stay right here. Scan your body as you're here for any places you might be holding tension. Start slowly moving your way up from the tip of the toes, slowly to the top of the head. And if you do find a place of holding, just release it. Let it go. Now that we've been here for a couple of moments, you might feel as though the torso really wants to start collapsing and lowering down. Don't let it. Shine the heart forward. Stay lifted. Stay here. There might be a spot between the shoulders that's talking to you. There might be a spot in the low back. You respond back by sending your breath right there. Breathe. Keep the face soft. In yoga philosophy, the postures are all connected with different centers, also known as chakras. This position not only opens up our heart chakra, it also opens our throat chakra. And this throat chakra, also known as Vishuddha in Sanskrit, is our center for communication. How we communicate with others. How do we accept others' communication? How do we communicate with ourselves? What are the stories that you tell yourself? How do you use your voice to be heard in a way that communicates meaning? All of this. So by holding this position, we help to keep this chakra in balance. So soften through the throat. Taking 5 full breath rounds right here. On the last exhale, very slowly, mindfully, moving very slowly, push the body up and back into a child's pose position. Your knees can be wide or they can be closed. It's your choice. Elbows can be in or your hands can be behind you, rolling into a tiny ball, whatever you'd like. Staying here for 5 full breath rounds. Very slowly coming back up. For the next moves, let's do a pigeon. So there are a few modifications for pigeon. The first one that we're going to do, that I'll show you, is bending in the left leg, wiggling the right leg behind you, flatten out the top of the right foot, and then slowly coming down into a sleeping pigeon position. So forearms are down, top of the head is down, your left hip is high, and you pause here for a few moments. If this is unavailable to you, that's totally fine. Take your blocks. Blocks go down. You can make a tower as tall as you need. Forehead down, stay here. If that's also unavailable, then grab your bolster, placing it down on the ground. Left leg goes over the bolster. Wiggle back. Use your blocks in your tower again. And you can stay here. So just take your time to feel whatever kind of position you'll be able to stay in without fidgeting. That's the important thing in yin, is that we commit to stillness. So just find a position where you won't be fidgeting. Let me just move these out of the way here. And starting with the left leg and settle in, we will be holding the pose for a few minutes. So settle in here. Now, wherever your palms are, spread the fingers wide, feeling as much of the ground underneath you as you can. And start to soften the hips completely. And just stay right here. Now in yoga, sometimes you hear the teacher say, send your breath to your hips, send your breath to the side body, send your breath here. Like, what are they talking about? So for those of you who are not as used to that kind of lingo, what that means is that you bring your awareness, so you fully think of that body part. So right now for me, I'm thinking of my left hip. And then I soften my belly completely. So the breath is coming in and out smoothly and evenly and full. And that breath, because I'm thinking of my left hip, all of that breath goes into my left hip. So as I inhale, I'm nourishing that area. And as I exhale, I completely release the muscles in that area. So give that a shot and stay here. Be aware of any place you're holding tension. Can you relax even more? Let go even more here. Taking 5 full breath rounds. And slowly push up through the hands. Sit back on that left hip. Leave the legs open wide here. Sitting, leaning back a bit. And just windshields wiper the knees side to side. Taking note of how different the sides feel from the side you just opened to the other side. Breathing, softening the face. And then next time you're over on the right side, we're going to do pigeon on the right. So coming back. Letting the left foot touch the ground here and coming over the right hip. You might have to take a different leg placement on this side. Just listen to the body, do whatever you need to do. And once you're in the position, just committing yourself to stillness. And soften here completely. Just let it go. Relax and release. Keep the mind in the body, use the breath. Can you soften even more into that hip? Take 5 full breath rounds here, just like this. And slowly sitting back on the right hip, come to roll to the back, leave the knees wide, windshield wipering side to side. I don't know about you, but I feel pretty freaking amazing right now. Thank God for practice. That's all I can say. Thank you for practice. Okay, beautiful. Now we're going to move into our next set of poses for our yin poses here. We're going to do this lateral side flexion. It is one of my favorite postures by far. You're going to need your bolster in the middle of your mat and a block. So line up the bolster. Let's just check the time. Oh my gosh, time flies, eh? Sheesh. Okay, line up the bolster with the side of your body, like it's right up against the side. And you're going to lean over it. So completely just resting the entire, all your body weight there. And then I need a folded blanket too. You're going to need a folded blanket. Ta-da. Okay. Fold the blanket. And now, so your blanket's on your arm like a pillow. And then take your block in your hand and hold, move that one out of the way. And then hold the blanket here. What's this thing called? A block. Hold that block there. Now your legs can be here, long and extended, or if that's not available, just bend your knees and just lengthening out here. Spin the ribs up. So you want to feel the ribs completely spinning up. And the reason why we hold the block is so that our hands aren't dangling in space, because that really is weird for our nervous system. So we hold the block here. And now close your eyes. And just rest. Scan the body from the tip of your toes, slowly moving up all the way to the tip of the fingers. Releasing any tension you find. Breathe. Making sure the breath is still coming in and out of the nose smoothly, softly. Still filling the belly with every inhale. Emptying the belly with every exhale. Soften your face and just be right here. Feel the supports of the bolster underneath you. Melt in. Relax. Soften. Taking 3 full breaths right here. Actually, make it 5. After the last exhale to come out of this, if your knees aren't bent yet, bend them in. Release the block. Move super slow. Taking the top hand, push it into the ground. Lifting up very slowly and easily. Pause in the middle here. Just take note of how you're feeling in your mind, in your heart. How's your body? Where's your breath? How's your energy feeling? And let's move to the other side. You can just roll over, but you don't want to look at my back. So I'm slowly getting up and moving over. Settling in, bringing your blanket. Don't forget your block. And just settle completely in. Take note of how this side feels as you start settling in. Spin the ribs up. Start breathing deeply. Soften the face. Is there anywhere else you can just let go, release, relax even more? Melt into the bolster. Melt into the mat. Taking 5 full breath rounds, just like this. Right here. Every exhale settles you down even more. And after the last exhale, slowly remove the block, bending in the knees, using the top hand to push yourself up to a seated position. All right, how's everybody doing? We don't have much time left, which is so crazy to me. Anyway, so let's do one last pose before we move into Shavasana. So I'd like to do butterfly. And we're going to do just a seated butterfly, not reclining. So taking your soles of your feet together to touch. Just rocking back and forth to make sure that you're even on your sit bones. Take a moment to look at the feet and feel them touching each other. Such a nice feeling. We so often don't do this. And now we're slowly just going to fold over the toes. Now, what you can do is you can use a block to rest your forehead on your toes. If this is still not high enough for you, that's okay. You can make a tiny tower here. As long as you're coming forward, that's all that's important here. And breathe, staying right here. Keep pushing the hips back, soften the hips. Breathe into the hips and into the entire back body. Taking 5 full breath rounds. On the last exhale, slowly coming back up. Use the hands outside the knees to guide them back together, giving the body out a little shake. And let's prepare for Shavasana. So final rest. You can take your Shavasana any way that you'd like. Maybe you want to have a folded blanket under your head, maybe the bolster under your knees, or you might want to do a heart opener for Shavasana, whatever you'd like. Choice is completely yours. And I'll see you back in a couple of minutes. Enjoy your Shavasana. Slowly bringing the awareness back into the body. Deepening the breath. Making small movements in your fingers, your toes. Slowly roll to one side in fetal position, keeping the eyes closed. And just stay here for a moment, reflecting on your practice and reflecting on the intention that you had set at the beginning of practice, and without any judgment. And take note of how you're doing in your mind, in your heart. How's your body feeling? Where's your energy? How's your breath? And here we also take the time to thank ourselves for making this time and giving ourselves this special gift that nobody else can give us. Still with eyes closed, push yourself up to a seated position. Holding your hands on your heart. Take a moment to feel your heartbeat. As we do, we're reminded of our strength and our vitality. And for this, we are so truly grateful. Taking all this gratitude that you feel right now and send it to someone who you know really needs love in this moment. Send it to them. And maybe that's yourself. Then bring it in. I wish you peace in your mind, and may your light shine bright. Namaste. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today. I love you all so much. Just stay safe and stay happy, and meet me back here tomorrow, 2:30. Let me know if there's a special kind of class you want me to do or a special body part you want me to focus on. I am taking requests. And thank you. Again, enjoy the rest of your day. Ta-ta.